Well, this week on 90.3 WCPN, the series Unsettled, Immigration in Ohio has introduced perspectives on immigration from Painesville in Lake County, where about a quarter of the population identifies as Hispanic or Latino. Monday, reporter Nick Castele was here, talked about the city police department's policy on immigration. Today, All Things Considered host Tony Ganzer joins me to tell us more about what the series entailed. Welcome back.
Hi, Rick.
Haven't seen you out here in a while.
Yeah, well,
doing
I'm
all
here
that radio
now.
stuff. Okay, you're here now. Immigration, pretty contentious topic for, well, really the whole country, but certainly here in Northeast Ohio as well. Bring us up to date with what you and Nick have been doing, and then throw in there, why Painesville?
Yeah, just a reminder what we're doing. First of all this week, as you mentioned, we're taking a look at the issue of immigration, and we just wanted to bring together voices in a measured way with varied perspectives, authentic voices, to talk about immigration, how that debate is affecting people here in Northeast Ohio. And a natural place to go was Painesville. Like you said, a quarter of the population in Painesville City identifies as Hispanic or Latino, and that alone creates an interesting dynamic in Northeast Ohio because that is a high concentration of the Hispanic population. Also in 2007, it was the site of ICE raids, federal immigration raids. There are occasional protests around immigration policy. And as we heard from Nick this week, Painesville police just initiated this policy to say they were going to report certain crimes to federal officials. So all this week we've brought voices from a councilman who is for that policy. He defended that policy. We've heard from a kid here, a young man now, who's on an Obama-era program, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA kids, who talked about going to grocery stores, and he said people were approaching him asking why he's in this country. Is he here illegally? That's just his perspective, his experience that he's had here. We're also hearing from the Lake County Sheriff. We're hearing from people who are being deported in this country. So we're trying to bring all of these voices together and hopefully give our listeners, our viewers, a sense of what people in our community are feeling.
Okay, good project. So when we look at it, you have pulled a couple of voices for us to hear right now. Start for me with Oscar. What's his story? Some people are here legally that you talk to, some not. So where is he?
Yeah, Oscar's actually a U.S. citizen. He was naturalized in 2007, but he's been in the country 26 years. And Oscar's perspective is he's very active in the community. He's helping people. He's kind of a fixer, I guess. He's the kind of guy who knows everybody, you know. And in talking to Oscar, he said he doesn't blame a climate of pressure or nervousness in Painesville to President Trump. He also doesn't blame President Obama, who had deported a number of people under his tenure. He actually traces it back to 9/11 to say that this increased attention on security and how we feel as a nation created an awkward situation, I guess, for people who are here without legal status. But something that he told me I found interesting, he said that we need to focus on the younger generation, especially people who are U.S. citizens, because if we get them on board to have pride in their community, things will get better. Here's what he said.
If the government gives us the opportunity to educate the people, I think the crime will be less and less. Kids need to find the way to be more for this country. But if we stop them, their dreams, they're going to step back and do something wrong, something different.
Oscar Orneas there. So another person that you talked to is a story of Rosie. Like many mothers, she's here illegally, but her kids, of course, would be legal.
Yeah, she didn't say how long she had been in the U.S., but she's been here long enough to remember those raids in 2007 and what it did to the community. She said that she feels like since President Trump took office, for example, she feels that people who have racist views feel more open. The way that Rosie put it was President Trump opened a Pandora's box during the campaign that now it's a little more open in the community. And she says she has fear that at any moment, people could be taken away or new raids could come. She talked about comparing fear, though. She said when she crossed the border and she was in the desert, she didn't know where she was, she didn't know where she was going, she was afraid. But now her fear is for her kids. Here's her perspective.
I'm not scared so much about me, but I'm scared about my kids because they were born here. They go to school, they have dreams too. So they want to go to college. One of them want to be a veterinary. The other one wants to be an architect. Their dreams now are my dreams. I'm not worried about me anymore. I'm going to do whatever I can for them.
And Rosie says she doesn't have permission to work in the country. She picks things up under the table every once in a while, but it's only to put food on her table. And something she wanted to say, even though this isn't her country per se, she's adopted the United States and she tries to volunteer and give back. And she said that she wants to give back to this country.
Interesting that Oscar, we had a picture, and then Rosie, we did not. I
That's
understand fully why that happens there. You also mentioned talking to the sheriff. I know you wanted to throw some of that in.
I did, yeah. Sheriff Daniel Dunlap, Lake County Sheriff. Something a Painesville councilman told me was a change in Lake County policy, Lake County Sheriff's policy of reporting certain things to the federal government was the reason Painesville put their policy in place. But the sheriff said, not so fast.
This idea that the police are going into local communities heavy-handedly searching for illegals is a bunch of baloney. Last 12 months, we've reported about 4 people to immigration. We haven't gone and found them. They have come and found us. They crashed their cars into innocent people, had no driver's license, no insurance, and left the scene of an accident and were about 2 times the level of intoxication.
So the stories have been running now Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, still Thursday. There's reaction time, of course. What are people saying?
Yeah, our Facebook page has been pretty active, actually, and we've had people in Leon, Mexico, where a lot of people in Painesville are from, share some of these stories. It's all over the spectrum. I mean, some people are entrenched in their views that if you're in this country illegally, you need to get out. Other people say, if you're a valued member of our community, we want you, we need you to rebuild a place like Painesville. The one thing I want to say, if you have a view, please contribute on our Facebook page or Twitter page or on our website, because we want people to talk in a measured way, and hopefully we all learn something.
Tony Ganzer, thanks so much. Appreciate it. To hear the complete series, Unsettled, Immigration in Ohio, do go, as Tony said, to the website ideastream.org/ideasnow.